Good morning, good morning, good morning. I shall be getting started shortly. This is the second week of our lives, so let me just go ahead and cut to me. I'm just checking some things on the back end here. All right, I got a lot of stuff in the background. Y'all just bear with me. So, ooh, hey, good morning. Good morning. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Keisha. I am the co-founder of Madam Greengrow, and this is the second edition of our MGG Live series, where we'll be coming live here on YouTube every Saturday. Um, Currently, I've been shooting for mornings at 9 a.m., but we'll probably switch that up in June. But every Saturday in May, including next week, we will be here at 9 a.m. discussing our topic of the week. So, our topic of the week is mental health and running a business. If you caught the header in the beginning, I just want to say thank you for all of the responses and the feedback that we've gotten over the last couple of weeks on these topics. We're really trying to prepare our community for greatness. So, bringing you these teachings, bringing you these tools and workshops are truly something that we are grateful for. So I am going to try to avoid some of the feedback issues of last week. I feel like each week will get better. Shouts out to Stacey Flowers. I watch her morning show every morning. If you're not familiar with her, she's a life coach, business. She's paying down a huge amount of debt over time, and she's working part-time in her business, and she's got a really transformational story. So I'm actually inspired by her coming on live like this. So if you see me glance to the right or to the left, I've got my notes to my right and I've got my face to the left, just to make sure that everything is working properly. So just because I love this pitch video and we worked really, really hard on getting this message out, and I am a huge proponent of visualization. There are a lot of things that I'd like to visualize this year and bring to fruition and manifest. So I'm going to go ahead, and if you are not familiar with us and you've gotten this far in the video, I think we're at about 4 to 5 minutes in. The timer should tell me, oh, it actually says 3. Excuse me. These lives are usually going to last about 15 to 30 minutes. So just to give you a heads up. But I'm going to go ahead, chop in our PSA that we submitted for the virtual startup pitch competition last month. Unfortunately, we did not win that competition, but we look forward to pitching and using our resources to build revenue and be able to spread our message. If you aren't familiar with Madam Greengrow's message, our tagline and our mission is to support, educate, and promote women of color. We started this organization because we wanted to show women all around the world that there are regular women who consume cannabis, who use cannabis, who build businesses with cannabis. We also wanted to be able to promote those women once they got their platforms, because traditional funding and advertising is not the norm. So I say all that to say, let me let the pitch video speak for itself. I am hoping that it comes in clear. I'm going to go ahead and load that up, and here we go. With support for legalization gaining steam, it was disheartening to hear that only 4% of businesses in the cannabis industry were owned by minorities and women of color. We plan to change that.
Hi, I'm Jamia Hunter.
And I'm Keisha Reed.
And we're Madam Greengrow.
Since 2016, Madam Greengrow formed as a community-based organization dedicated to the education, promotion, and celebration of women of color in the cannabis industry. Each month, we shift the culture by centering the cannabis conversation around various topics like business and our community. We found that the need for education and resources for gaining access to this industry was the next step, and we are looking to impact and change the lives of women of color who just need the keys to jumpstart their journey. By expanding our education platform with live and virtual trainings centered around ownership and growth, $1,000 will be the catalyst and infrastructure we need to reach that goal.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Boom. Now you can hear me. I had to put my mic back on. Technical difficulties. We're working on that. So I'm looking at my timer here. So that is what Madam Green Grow is all about. That's what we're really excited about promoting. We have a huge goal that we're trying to reach in 2020, and we are right on track for that goal. I can't wait to unveil that. But in the meantime, let's talk about the topic of the week. So, as we shift to my notes, mental health. So, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. May is also my birthday month, and I think it is very important to talk about mental health while running a business. Madam Green Grow is not the only business that myself or my co-founder have, and one of the things that we wanted to share with you all is how to balance your mental health when you're balancing building your business and balancing building your life. Correct? Right? Following? Great. So this week we published an article on talking a little bit about mental health, why that's important. Mental health defined is the state of your mind, your well-being, and how that all plays along with your physical, emotional, spiritual self. And when you are dealing with the difficulties of life, it may throw you off track. So having things that help boost your mental health um, will alleviate a lot of those issues. So talking a little bit about my story, this is one that I share all the time. And excuse the light in here. I realize I'm recording on a camera and I have a light right above me, so it's probably giving you a little bit too much shine. But anyway, so my story, my mental health story, my mental health and cannabis story is that in 2016, I had my glitter moment. I always talk about how, Glitter was one of my favorite movies, Mariah Carey's infamous, true tale to life story. She literally went through a very public emotional breakdown, and now years later we see that she struggles with bipolar disorder. So when I think back to that time, it was also around the time of 9/11. So the world that we lived in was very different. And I was young at that time. So I typically took the opinions of others. But when I realized that life got a little bit overwhelming for me, and I too had a very destructive reaction to how to adjust the adjustments of life. So for a year, up until now, I'm in therapy, and it allows me to talk about those things that they don't necessarily prepare you for, in school, or depending upon your family history and culture, there are different taboos and stigmas that people don't talk about. And I realized that it was definitely my mission to share that story, that, that off feeling that you may have because something went wrong at work, school, and it just sets you off, learning the tools and tips to be able to identify those moments, and also, work through those moments, because I do believe that it's all about balance, right? So this article this week, we shared 3 tips to help kind of balance your mental health. Um, One thing I want to say before I go over the tips is that self care is not just a word. And, I definitely dropped that in the article, but everyone talks about self care now. Self care is so important, whether it's taking time out to read 30 pages before you go to bed, turning off the Instagram and the comments that, keep our brains active. One of the tips, as we segue into the tips, is that you need rest. The sun sets, the moon rises, animals sleep, computers shut down, your phone, when it gets too hot, it needs to stop. You need to rest. We can't run on just, caffeine and pre-workout. It just doesn't work like that. You have to allow your body to rejuvenate. So, a lot of people talk about that hustle mentality, and, I too am a part of that hustle culture. And I believe you can hustle, but you have to hustle smart. Just like they say, work smart, not hard, something along those lines. I think you can hustle smart and not hustle hard and still get the reaction that you need. So, rest is important. You have to rest. That was the first tip. Second tip is you have to find your tribe. and tell them your truth, right? I am all about the tribe vibe. I know how important it is to have a group of people who are around you who call you on your bullshit, right? Who call you on the things that you need to be held upon. They're also your cheering squad, you know? I have friends who I know as soon as this live is over, I'm going to send them the link and say, "Oh my god, I can't believe I did this for a second week." You know? They know that's coming. That's their place to be able to reassure and help me to understand that, Keisha, girl, you know you the shit. Keep riding with it, you know, keep working with it. So I feel like a lot of things, and over the next couple of weeks we'll be breaking down some of these taboos and stigmas, but people don't talk about the frustrating moments. People, you know, you see the glitz and the glamour, you see the Delta pre-checkpoints, you see the fancy retreats and things like that. And that's no shade, because I too want to be, you know, swiping my Delta credit card for air points, speaking all around the world, going to retreats with my family and friends, spending time with the people that I love. Because while building a business, you have to have balance, right? But if the people around you have no idea what you're going through, what you're currently struggling with, then everything is for naught. You know, you're building this legacy for what? No one knows what you're going through. No one knows how you feel, right? They're going to hear about it in a memoir in 30 years. Don't be that person. Let your tribe in and be very protective of the things that you say, right? I am a Taurus. My birthday is next week, and I am very much a people person. So I have people in my life who are able to um, you know, back in the day when you were dating and you brought your date around your friends, they were like, that person's not quite for you. Or, girl, yes, you have a catch. I don't know if you all did that, but I did. That's my tribe. My tribe is there to, they're an extension of me, as I am an extension of them. So don't be afraid to tell your tribe your truth. Okay? And then the last tip was get a hobby. And I really want folks to understand that getting a hobby is different from reading a book. Getting a hobby is different from starting a new passion project. Getting a hobby that separates you from the business, the industry, the ongoing information highway that exists as we, you know, live in this world, you have to cut it. There's no reason that you have nothing to do but eat, sleep, and work, right? That's not a life to live. Hobbies, examples, here's a little secret. I love the gym, right? And if you're not familiar with me prior to 2016, with the help of cannabis and all of the dedicated diet changes and the change in the mental health, I've lost over 72 pounds. And I'm still on my way to lose a little more. And I found that I was the person growing up who, you know, work out. What's that? You know, I played sports in high school, you know, the cute sports where you didn't necessarily have to do much. But um shout out to my swimmers. I'm sorry. Y'all don't hate me on that. I was a swimmer for a really long time. But, you know, they compare swimmers to runners and it's like tomatoes, tomatoes. Either way, um I realized that in order to break that mindset of I can't lose the weight or I can't eat right or I'll never be able to run a mile, I proved to myself that I could. And that is just something that I often am in awe about because I don't think I'd ever thought that I would. So that is one hobby. That is one hobby that I do often. And I think that it ties directly into building that balance. I know that if I don't work out in the morning, which I'll be doing after this live, that I will be irritable for the rest of the day. I'm not a great person to be around when I'm not working out a lot of those early morning anxious feelings. That's what it's all about. So, enough about me. Those are the 3 tips. And if you're interested in more, make sure you sign up for our newsletter. They will be getting a few more tips in a cute little downloadable. So, that was the 3 tips. You know, you can get more for signing up for our newsletter. And just in case you did not know, we are hosting, I'm shifting over. We're hosting a webinar. So The title of the webinar, this free webinar, is Build Your Own Cannabis Business on the Go. And the reason why we decided to do this webinar, and you'll see me off screen while I'm talking about it, is that we noticed that a lot of women of color were in our inbox and they really wanted to start a business. They had no idea how to do it. They thought that there was so much legalese and things that they need to have set up, which you do, but we're going to talk about building your business on the go. We're going to give you that foundation to make sure that you're 100% clear on how to launch your cannabis or CBD based business in 2019 by tackling some mindsets, setting strategies, and really talking about systems and tools. Because I realize as I come back to camera, people don't talk about systems and tools, right? People talk about, okay, you got to have your graphics together. Look like. So, we're really excited to present this information. And if you are connected with us on any of our social media channels, you'll have access to that to be able to sign up to that dedicated page. If you're a part of our newsletter gang, we will be dropping that link. Newsletter goes out today around 4:20. Usually we typically send them out on Saturdays. So just look out for that. Also, while we're talking about education, I am also going to plug, I apologize. Bring that back. The webinar is Sunday, May 18th. Just want to make sure that I got that. Oops, loud and wrong. It is Sunday, May 19th. At 6 p.m. We will have it held in a dedicated area. You can ask all the questions that you want. There'll be a few workbooks that we'll send out. We'll have follow-up and chats, and just know we're really excited about this. So May 19th, 6 p.m. We'll see you there, right? Okay. Switching over to our masterclass series. Jeez, the transitions are killing me today. All right, so we have relaunched our masterclass series for the following weekend after the webinar. This is not free of charge. There will be a cost associated with that is going to be, I think, $59. It was $49 our first run, so we bumped it up $10 because we're offering a little bit more pizzazz this time around. So we're really excited. A little bit more information, a little bit more targeted information. We'll be talking about mindset here as well, system and tools. This is actually just an extension of the webinar. We're going to go really, really deep into this masterclass series. So I'm so excited. That is May 25th and May 26th, Memorial Day weekend. If you're not able to catch us live, you'll have the replay afterwards, and that information will drop in our newsletter as well this week. Just want to make sure that I'm hitting all my points on my agenda. We're running into 19 minutes. I'm super excited. I'm looking at myself over here. Doesn't look crazy. I'm going to take a sip real quick. And I don't think I got a chance to show you this on camera last week, but I love that it goes the right way. Drink tea like an adult. Shouts out to Ivy's Tea Company. I'm drinking some peppermint tea this morning because my pre-workout has caffeine in it. I'm going to the gym directly after this. I talked about that. That's actually here. So just all the liquids. I'm trying to make sure that I'm on task. So I don't see anyone in the live chat. If you have any questions, make sure you can connect with us on, You can connect with us on social media. You can send us an email at hi@madamgreengrow.com. You can hit us up in the Garden Club. Shout out to my Garden Club folks. We're, moving and grooving in there. And we're here. Just if you need anything, we are here. Next week, we've got the webinar. So I'll be doing a live Q&A. Let me check my schedule because sometimes I'm talking and that is not what is on the list. I'm doing a live Q&A, but we also have a topic next week. I don't necessarily think I want to announce the topic just in case I move it to the following week. Let me see. 1, 2, 25, 18. Oh, okay. So it looks like next week's topic is going to be community versus competition. We can all eat. So we've got the webinar on Sunday, next week, we've got our MGG Lives here. We'll be breaking down the topic of the week, which is community versus competition. We can all eat. I am going to make sure that this video is shared on the different platforms so that everyone knows to come here in the mornings at 9 a.m. on Mondays. Not Mondays, in May. Saturdays in May at 9 a.m. None of that made any sense. All right, I'm rambling. That is all. We're at 21 minutes. I'm so excited. This is week 2. Let's keep it going. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Sending love to those who don't have a mother or who have lost a mother or whose mother wasn't well to them, or toxic mommies, aunties, godmommies, stepmommies, play mommies, mommies who just weren't there, mommies. I feel for everyone who's got a mom or a mom related experience this Mother's Day. I'm sending my love to you, and I hope that you all have a great Saturday. All right, be safe, and we'll see you here next week at 9 a.m.